Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Autocar India Quick News, your weekly update on all the big launches, all the news and all the hot scoops from the world of automobiles. But before we begin, do remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest uploads. Let's kick things off with launches this week, and as the lockdown eases across the country, the auto industry seems to be getting on its feet. This week we start off with the launch of the BS6 2020 Nissan Kicks, which now gets an optional 1.3-litre turbocharged petrol engine. The BS6 Nissan Kicks has now been launched with a new 1.3-litre turbocharged petrol engine that makes 156 horsepower and 254 Nm of torque. The engine is mated to a 6-speed manual or a 7-step CVT gearbox. The other engine option is a 1.5-litre naturally aspirated petrol that makes 106 horsepower and 142 Nm of torque. There is no diesel on offer. The 1.5-litre naturally aspirated engine has an ARAI rated fuel economy figure of 13.9 km per litre, while the new 1.3 turbo petrol with the manual gearbox is rated at 15.8. Prices for the BS6 Nissan Kicks start at 9,50,000 rupees, and the most affordable turbo manual variant is priced at 11,85,000 rupees, with the most affordable turbo CVT priced at 13,45,000 rupees. Nissan has really priced the BS6 Kicks competitively, as we see here with a price chart comparing it with its rivals. The Kicks undercuts competition like the Hyundai Creta, the Kia Seltos and the MG Hector by a handsome margin. For more information, visit autocarindia.com. Now, we saw the Renault Travelogues AMT for the first time at the 2020 Indian Auto Expo earlier this year, and now Renault has officially launched the 7-seater automatic little MPV in India. Let's have a look at all the details. The Travelogues Automatic gets a 5-speed AMT gearbox which is mated to the same 1-litre naturally aspirated 3-cylinder engine, making 72 horsepower and 96 Nm of torque. The engine has been upgraded to meet BS6 emission norms too. Apart from the new gearbox, the Travelogues stays exactly the same in terms of features, with the top spec model getting an 8-inch infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and a reversing camera. The flexible 7-seat layout stays as is too. The Travelogues AMT range starts at 6,18,000 rupees for the entry-level model, with the fully loaded RXZ priced at 7,22,000 rupees. Prices for the manual variant have also increased by 4,000 rupees over the previous versions. Let's have a look at some two-wheeler launches, and there are quite a few of them to go through this week. First up, it's the BMW F900 twins, the F900R and the F900 XR. BMW Motorrad India has launched the F900 twins in India. Powering these bikes is an 895cc engine making 105 horsepower and 92 Nm of torque, with as much as 87 Nm available from as low as 4,500 RPM. The engine is paired to a 6-speed transmission. Both bikes get riding modes, a 6-inch TFT screen, LED headlights with features like cornering lights, keyless ignition and pro riding modes available as optional extras. While the F900R is available only in a standard variant at 9,90,000 rupees, the F900XR Sports Tourer is available in two variants with prices starting at 10,50,000 rupees. Kawasaki updated prices for two bikes in India this week, the W800 and the Versys 1000. Let's have a look at those new prices. First up, the W800. The new BS6 version of the retro-style bike is now a whopping 1 lakh rupees cheaper than its predecessor and is now priced at 6,99,000 rupees ex-showroom. The new price means that it now undercuts its biggest rival, the Triumph Street Twin. The W800 773cc fuel-injected single overhead cam air-cooled engine makes 52 horsepower and 62.9 Nm of torque. The 2020 Versys 1000 on the other hand is 30,000 rupees more expensive, with a price point of 10,99,000 rupees ex-showroom. Kawasaki claims that the bike was already BS6 compliant when the current avatar of the Tourer was launched in 2019. The Versys 1000 gets a 1043cc engine making 120 horsepower and 102 Nm of torque. There have also been other price hikes in the two-wheeler segment. The recently launched Husqvarna 250 twins are now slightly more expensive, and the KTM range once again has had a price bump. Let's have a look at the new prices. Prices for the Duke range have gone up by between 4,096 rupees to 4,978 rupees, with the most affordable KTM, the 125 Duke, now priced at 1,42,000 rupees. The RC range has seen a price increase of between 4,096 rupees and 5,109 rupees, with the top spec RC390 now coming in at 2,53,000 rupees. The The 390 Adventures also had a price increase of 5,109 rupees and now costs 3,04,000 rupees. And coming to the recently launched Husqvarna 250s, the Svartpillen and the Vitpillen have both seen a price increase of 4,736 rupees, with the new price for both at 1,85,000 rupees. Moving on to more general news now, and first up, it's news from Kia, especially news for those waiting eagerly for the compact Kia Sonet SUV. Speaking to Autocar India, the head of sales and marketing for Kia, Manohar Bhatt, has confirmed that the automaker is working with its partners to ensure that the launch of the Sonet happens as planned around the months of August or September, bang in the middle of the festive season. The Sonet, of course, is Kia's entry into the sub-4 meter SUV segment and will go up against the likes of its sister car, the Hyundai Venue. The Sonet will get 2 petrol engine options and a diesel engine option too, with a host of features packed into this compact SUV. And that's not the only news from Kia this week, as Kia Motors India has also announced that it has instituted a number of new safety protocols at its facility in Anantapur in Andhra Pradesh, which has resumed production on May 8, 2020. Production has begun after a hiatus of exactly 56 days. For now, the plant is operating in a single shift and has already begun to churn out the Seltos SUV and the Carnival MPV. This, of course, is great news for everyone who has booked a new Kia and is awaiting delivery. As we mentioned earlier, it does look like the auto industry is on a bit of a road to recovery from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, and considering the fact that the lockdown has been gradually lifted across a few parts of the country, bookings and sales of cars have begun. Let's have a look. Maruti Suzuki has delivered 5,000 brand new cars by mid-May, and although it is just a fraction of what the automaker manages every month, in times like these, every sale counts. These, of course, include both Arena and Nexa showrooms. Hyundai, on the other hand, has delivered 1,600 new cars to customers already and has 2,500 new bookings. That said, figures indicate that the number of new bookings from Hyundai are about 1/3 of what they usually are. As of now, 35% of the company's dealerships and 40% of its service centers across India are now open. Honda two-wheelers, on the other hand, has seen sales of over 21,000 vehicles, with 45% of Honda dealers and 30% of its total service network now open. And to make the most of the current scenario, Harley-Davidson has started a rather unique initiative. It has launched a home delivery service for its motorcycles. Home deliveries are free to up to a distance of 40 kilometers and then is chargeable for every kilometer thereafter. In order to make their cars even safer, Volvo has decided to take an unprecedented move. Let's take a look. Volvo has begun the introduction of a 180 km/h speed limiter on all its brand new cars in order to make their cars even safer than they already are. All new cars will also feature something called a care key, which will help owners set a special top speed ranging from 50 km/h to 180 km/h in the case of other drivers. The automaker has also announced that it is looking at the issues of driver intoxication and distraction, which it plans to address by installing driver monitoring systems in the near future. And finally, in our eye candy of the week, here is the brand new Porsche 911 Targa, which is, in my opinion, the most beautiful body style you can have in a 911. Let's have a look. The new 911 Targa employs a similar roof setup as the last generation, where the top panel for the roof very elegantly folds away in just 19 seconds behind the passenger seat, with a rear deck lid and the screen lifting up to allow it to do so. The iconic Targa design has now spanned nearly 5 decades and is possibly the prettiest avatar of the 911 short of the Turbo and the GT models. Engine duties are done by a 3-litre twin turbocharged flat-6 engine that puts out 385 horsepower in the Targa 4 and 450 horsepower in the Targa 4S. And that's all the time we have for you today. As always, do leave your opinions in the comments section below and tell us what you think about all the new launches, all the price updates, and of course, how the industry is reacting to the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe. We'll see you next week.